Welcome to Drop Bear Moto. G'day YouTube, my name's Richard. You obviously clicked on the link to have a look at these rear crash bars today, and I appreciate you doing so. Awesome piece of equipment that Harley did put on was these flat out forward bars, and I think the back bars really make it. We found tons of details on them on YouTube, but I didn't see a sort of full step-by-step process, and sometimes before I buy something I like to kind of walk through what's involved or work out whether I'm going to do it myself or not. So I'm going to sort of step through everything. I'm going to not show you every twist of every bolt because that would be boring as shit. But we're going to just walk you through what we're going to do today, Mrs. DBM and I, in chucking these on. So let's rewind to before we put them on. So before we start the job, quick disclaimer, I am not a mechanic at all. This is just purely I learned my shit off YouTube, as you are now. A couple of tools you will need, socket wise or spanner. It's all 1/2 inch or 9/16. I did find that I needed deeper sockets. I actually tried to do it with 2 shifters, but there was one just to get past the belt where I needed to use a spanner, but as long as you got a spanner, 9/16, 1/2 inch, and then of course, you know, or a couple of shifters, that's fine. A couple of Torx pieces. It was T40 and T45 I needed. And then the final one was, I think, a 7/16 socket or spanner. And then I honestly can't remember what this key was, and I don't have my readers out here, and I'm too old to bloody read it, but you'll work that out. Sorry, Mrs. DBM. And Mrs. DBM just helped me out. This is a 3/16 hex key. You will need a torque wrench as well, just to do the final torques on everything. But that's pretty much tools you'll need. Let's crack on. So we did have one casualty today. Blew out a pair of pants. Not really to do with the flat out bars, more to do with me bending around. Remember to wear protective footwear too. So first of all, let's see what's in the box. And we have a bunch of loose parts. Might want to watch out for that if you're unboxing. Didn't see that. Got the instructions. We have our bars, which look pretty cool. Put all this on a nice soft surface. We've got our pucks. And our second bar. And lastly, we've got the rails, because we will be taking the rails off underneath the bags that are there at the moment to fit the guards on. So to start the job, we're going to take off the bags for both sides and the seat. Presume everyone knows how to do this, but obviously the little levers inside the bags we just twist off, and the seat cowl there remove, and then we can remove the seat. Quick reminder when you're taking the bags off, obviously put them somewhere soft, put a blanket down or something or other, or a towel, to make sure you don't scratch them up. And if you haven't had the seat off before, you just got to get under here. There's a couple of knobs to twist, so we'll do that first. Once you've removed the nuts off of here, when the seat lifts up, you just got a little groove here that you just need to slide the seat back to unclip it from there. So next we're going to remove these bolts here with your 1/2 inch socket. So we're going to remove these, hold on to these bolts, these washers, this bracket and the rubber mount. Keep those, we'll need them when we reinstall. Okay, this is a future note from ourselves because we just finished the other side, and as I was filming I probably made it a little bit confusing. So take this as the gospel, and I'll show you a couple of hints as I went through. So when you're loosening the bolts, the next thing is the back one here. Then you want to do the mid one, or at the time it's the front. Then you want to do this outer back one, is the order you want to take them off. You want to retain the bolts 1, 2, and 3. I also put the washer back on here, but they have new nuts that come with them at the back, so new locking nuts. Probably good to use obviously the new ones because they do have that PVC inside that locks on, and obviously you want your bag guards to be on sturdy. So on this back bolt, we're actually going to use a 1/2" socket for the washer and a T40 for the bolt, so slightly smaller than the first ones. Now we've got to remove this bolt from here for the front of the frame. Both the bolt and the washer are both 9/16, so we want to grab a socket on the back here and one on the front, both 9/16. So next we're going to remove this washer and this bolt. I'm going to tackle this with a longer 9/16 socket. Side we've got a T45 bolt, and we've got a 9/16 washer, so we're going to work these together. And again, you want to retain. So this is the old mount. I didn't pull the rubber bracket out while it was on the bike just for ease, but we're going to basically remove this rubber mount out of here, and we're going to put it on the new bag guard inside here. Just push in, push out, push back in. So now that we've pushed the rubber mounting bracket into here, we just need to slide now we've got the rubber bracket in, just slide the mounting bracket back in. So what we're going to do now is slide the tube from the bag support into the main guard, and we're going to use this bolt through and this little lock nut on the other side. So we've loosely put this bolt through for now, and the lock screw, and it says just keep it loose for now because we might need to wiggle in situ. What happens is this frame now connects to the top here and underneath, and in the back on where we had it before. What we need to do is now replace the hardware on this side that we just took off. So you might want to get 2 people on this part so you don't risk scratching the frame up this end here just while you're doing it. I'm going to loosely put that top bolt in the top frame just to keep it off of the panel here so I don't scratch anything while I'm doing it. So as we did just put this top bolt in just loosely to hold it in place so we're not going to scratch. You could obviously remove the cover. A quick tip though, there's a metal plate at the back you can see here. Just make sure that's lined up as we're putting the screw through. Mrs. DBM pointed out you don't want to get that on the wrong angle, so we straightened it up. So now we can put this bolt in. We'll connect this one next. So now we're going to put the bolt we removed earlier and the flange head washer back into situation on here. Lastly, we want to make sure that the slip-ons all lined up nicely, or the muffler is. So we're just going to make sure that these holes are lined up with the plate. We can slide it through the rubber bracket, and then we're going to reuse the same mounting hardware we had before to place the muffler back on. Again, everything nice and loose at the moment so that we can tighten it all up after. Okay, now we start to tighten up all the bolts. First of all, we're going to do this back one through here. So this was the T40 and the 1/2" socket. The torque settings for this screw are 15 to 20 foot-pounds of torque, or 20 to 27 Newton meters. So I just set mine to 23 here on the torque wrench. So we're just going to tighten the correct torque on this back screw here first, bolt here first. Okay, now we're going to hit the front bolt. So remember, now we're up to the 9/16 socket and the T45 Torx bit. This time we've got to go to 30 to 37 foot-pounds, or 40.5 to 50 Newton meters. So I've set it for about 45 Newton meters on my torque wrench. And remember, you're going to need to use the longer socket on this one to make sure you can clear that bolt head. Next, we're going to tighten the top frame bolt down using a T40 Torx bit, and we need to go to 30 to 36 foot-pounds of torque there, or 43.5 to 49 Newton meters. So I'm going to do about the same as the last bolt, about 45 Newton meters. And the next one's this bolt here, same torque settings as the top bolt down. Remember, this was the 9/16 on both sides. We'll tighten that one up next. Good. So now we're going to tighten up this little bolt here. This is a 7/16 socket on this side. I've been super professional with everyone and shown you all the correct torque settings, all the correct tools. No idea what this hex key is because I can't read it, but you want to find a hex key here. There is a torque setting for this bolt, but we won't be getting that done in our household because I don't have a torque wrench that goes down low enough. So the old on hard enough is good enough is the philosophy here. Last, we're going to have to tighten up these two bolts here. Again, very small torque settings, down to something like 100 inches per pound, or 10 to 15 sort of Newton meters of torque on these back sockets here, which again was the 1/2 inch socket. And finally, we're going to put the pucks on the end, the Harley ones, and looks like these come with the only black screws in, which looks like a T40 Torx head for me. So we're going to belt these in here. Well, one thing I just probably caution you is the front are nice and kind of straight with the Harley up the top and the Davidson round. I'm going to keep these nice and consistent on here and do them exactly the same way. Okay, there we go. Job's done. Just obviously got to put it back together. On this side, you thought you were there. So now let's go have a crack at the other side. Exactly the same process all the way through, so I'm not going to waste your time by repeating it. But I'll run through the other side now. I'll throw both the bags and the seat back on, and then we'll take a look at the finished product. So on this side, because of the belt, I couldn't use my trusty 2-shifter method, had to resort to a 9/16 spanner. Nice, job done. There we go. So look, you know, I think the bar's certainly very handy. Just in case you ever do, we got a couple of bikes we move around the garage, and that's my biggest fear is always I'm going to just knock these and drop a bike while I'm moving them around. I think they're a really nice touch, the flat out bars, and obviously if you like them on the front, you want to get the matching ones on the rear with the Harley Davidson pucks. They really make it. So yeah, it was a good job. It was pretty easy to do. Didn't take a lot of time, as you saw. It took me longer to do it, to film it for you guys, but I'm glad you enjoyed it. If you did go this long on the video, we're going to be doing a bit more to this bike. Next up is the famous, it seems like everyone's complaining that we all don't really want to be street racers and have the low down bars. So we're going to put a riser and bar set up. So subscribe to the channel if you want to check that out. Not sure we're going to do too much else to this one, but we're certainly going to have some adventures crossing the country on it. So if you want to see more of Mrs. DB on this awesome machine, the Harley Davidson Road Glide CVO ST, then give us a subscribe, give us a like, and we'll see you on the channel as we have more adventures. Thanks for watching.